Hello, welcome to Fountain of Light Ministries. My name is Tony, and I would like to share a message with you today about spiritual stagnation and my journey um, to find the truth and to free myself from stagnation. Most of my life, I was a Buddhist, and I got into Buddhism through martial arts. It was a natural progression because martial arts is closely tied to Buddhism. And so, as I was learning to get out of my physical comfort zone and get my body to do things it wasn't used to doing, gain new abilities and such, Buddhism allowed me to do the same thing with my mind. Um, I was forcing my mind to do things that it wasn't used to doing through meditation, and that allowed me to do things like control my emotions, to see things clearly, um, and to just really just figure things out a whole lot faster. Um, that in turn really allowed me to find success in management because I was able to just find solutions almost at an instant. I could see the solutions forming as the problem was developing. And so it really allowed me to be successful. The only thing is, Buddhism couldn't teach me how to create something that wasn't in me. For example, I I could not figure out sympathy. I could not figure out love. As strange as that sounds, I know it comes natural to a lot of people, but to me it didn't. Whether I was dropped in my head as a child or whatever, I don't know. I just know that I could not figure out love. I could not, I don't know. I couldn't feel it. I couldn't create it. I don't know. I just didn't have it. And the thing is with Buddhism, the first noble truth is that life is suffering and and then suffering is caused by wanting things that you cannot have. So I figured, okay, that is my lot in life. I'll just learn to be satisfied with it. And so I was basically stagnant for a long time. I had told myself that, to be happy or to be satisfied, um, I had to learn to just deal with what I didn't have. And so I was never really eager to solve that problem because I figured that's just who I was. So I'm just going to accept it. But obviously, that created a lot of problems with my marriage. And so I then started searching for a solution to that problem. But since I didn't know that it was a spiritual problem, I kept seeking inside. I kept looking within myself to see if I could fix it. Um, I I did external things like work longer hours, provide more, just do more to see if maybe that would fix a problem. Um, and of course, being human, I was blaming everyone else for my issues because I didn't realize that I was the source of my own misery. Um, and it wasn't until my wife said that she wanted me to lead her to Jesus that it kind of just all hit me in the face. And I realized, you know what? Maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. I'm having all these problems and I am not finding the solution within. So maybe I have to look out for the solution and ask God for it. Um, and I came across this Bible verse. So it's First John 4, 7 through 8. And it says, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. He who does not know love does not know God, for God is love. And that was a huge wake-up call for me. I realized that the reason I don't know love is because I don't know God. And I kind of started praying for God to fill me with love, to teach me how to love, to teach me sympathy, to teach me all those things that are derived from love that I didn't have and that I was trying to force on my own. And it wasn't until I realized that, nah, man, you're going about it the wrong way. You need to give up what you're doing and hand it over to God and let God fix it for you. I had a problem and I had to find a solution for it. I was uncomfortable in my current state, so I needed to find a fix. And I found that fix with God. But a lot of times, people are comfortable with where they are. And so, since they are comfortable, they're not finding any need to fix anything. For the longest time, I was comfortable too. I had a relatively peaceful home. I had a successful career. My children were great. Um, and I, was getting lots of praise from everyone we knew. It was like, oh man, you got your life together. You have a beautiful home, you have a beautiful wife, you have wonderful kids that are, successful. And I'm like, okay, cool, I achieved it. There's no need for me to fix anything. But deep inside, I was miserable and I didn't know why. If I had achieved everything that I was looking out for, why did I still have this empty feeling? For me, I had a I had a hard problem with being able to let go. I was the solutions guy. I was the fix it guy. I was the guy that always had all the answers. But why didn't I have this one? And like I said, it wasn't until I learned to give up that control that I learned to love. And the one thing I want to share with you people is that if your religious life is easy, if you're one of those guys that shows up at church and you sit in your pew and you sing the songs and you worship once a week, and then you go home and then you forget all about it, maybe you're in spiritual stagnation. If you're comfortable in where you are, if you're not in a spiritual struggle, then maybe that's a problem. While I was comfortable in my dumb, satisfied, materialistic life, I was good. I was perfectly fine. It wasn't until I started trying to fix that one thing in me that something happened. And now I was in a spiritual war that I didn't even know I was fighting. And I was definitely on the losing side. But once I realized that I was in a war, and I knew that I had to take sides, that I knew that I had to prepare myself, that's when things got really crazy. And that's actually at the same time, things got way better. I go to church and I see people there just once a week, a lot of them. They just show up, they do their thing, and then you never see them the rest of the week. You never see them at any of the other gatherings. You never see them sharing anything. There are people there that I don't think I've even had a single conversation with. Not that I haven't tried. They show up, they leave, never saying a thing. All of us know somebody like that. And if you don't, it's probably you. What I'm trying to say though is that if you are happy and satisfied and nothing crazy is going on in your life, then maybe it's because you're not a threat to Satan. And maybe he will let you sit in your ignorance, in your laziness, and just let you be. Because why bother with someone who's not a threat? If you are comfortable in your spiritual life, then I think you're wrong. Christianity, the path towards Jesus, was never meant to be comfortable. It was never meant to be easy. If you are not struggling, if you are not seeing hardship, if it doesn't feel like you're in a spiritual battle, it's because you're not. And if you're not in a spiritual battle, then what are you doing? You're just wasting your time. And we all know time is coming to an end. Jesus is returning soon. We don't have time to waste. If you're not fighting, then what are you doing? If you are spiritually stagnant, then you need to do something to get out of your spiritual comfort zone and grow. If you go to the gym to get out of their spiritual or get out of their physical comfort zone, I expanded my mind through meditation, and now I'm learning to get my spirit out of its comfort zone, to stop being spiritually lazy. If any of this sounded familiar, get on your knees. Pray. Pray for strength. Pray for God to get you out of that comfort zone. And He will. Trust me, He will. Guys, this has been Tony with Fountain of Light Ministries. If you have any questions, please leave your comments. Be happy to answer them. Thank you.